friends, welcome or welcome back to the Blue Butterfly Tarot. Today we're looking specifically into a no contact and or separation situation, their honest feelings for you. And I've got two piles for you. This is pile number one, this is pile number two. Pile number one is the Broadway Tarot and pile number two is the Morgan Greer Tarot. Take your time, see which pile or piles you feel intuitively called to. I do want to say this is a general reading. Take what resonates, leave the rest. If one pile's messages don't resonate, then choose the other. If both piles' messages don't resonate, then it just means that maybe there aren't any messages for you in this video today, but I do hope that at least one of the piles' messages do resonate. Please be careful of scammers. I would never reach out to you asking you to follow or subscribe or book a private reading, so just please be a little bit careful about that. My private readings are open right now. You can check the details in the description box below. I'm going to give you a few seconds now to see which pile or piles you feel intuitively called to, and then I shall begin. For those of you who chose the Broadway Tarot, this is going to be your reading, alright? Before we get into the reading, let's just take some time to realign our energies. So close your eyes, think of your person, breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Alrighty, pile one, specifically for a no contact and or separation situation, what are your person's honest feelings? I feel like shuffling, hold on. Okay, let's see what we have here. We have the Four of Swords, the Knight of Swords, the Lovers, the Hangman, Queen of Cups, Ace of Wands, Ten of Wands. Okay. I also have your Oracle card, so we're going to get into that right now. I am innovative, ambition, awkward silence, come to me, and we have self-worth with the sacral chakra. I nurture. Okay. Your person doesn't want to do anything right now. You're probably expecting some kind of maybe confession from them. You want them to tell you something. You want them to choose this connection. Whatever it is, your person doesn't want to do anything right now. And if you ask them to, it would be like you're pushing them to, you know? And your person might be, I'm not sure if this is the reading that you were intending, like, because this is not going to be, how do I say this? I'm struggling so much with my words because this person perceives that you want something and they can't give it to you right now. And I feel that about this reading as well. Like, you probably came to this reading wanting to hear something, but you're not going to hear it. That's the energy that's coming through. Your person doesn't want to take action right now. They're very, very stubborn in that energy. And it's kind of like they might be feeling a little bit bullied at this point in time. And it's not, maybe it's not something that you have done per se. Maybe it's their own traumas that are kind of coming up to the surface. They feel maybe that you are trying to push them to make a decision or trying to control the outcome about something, or you are trying to move things in a certain way by expecting them to behave in a certain way. It could be also their past. Maybe someone in their past was like that and maybe you're not like that, but your person's expecting you to be, or they are assuming that you are. All right, so take that as it resonates for your situation. For some of you, I am seeing that it's possible you may have been a little bit forceful in your energy as well. Even if you're not talking to this person, just wanting that clarity, just being in that energy could have added pressure onto this person. All right. Like I said, I don't know if this is going to be like, this reading might trigger you, so I'm just going to put a trigger warning like that, but it could also just be this person's assumption that's also coming through. But right now, their honest feelings is that they don't want to do anything. They are focusing on other aspects of their life, and it's kind of like your person wants to, how do I say this? They want to assert their right of being, but there might be an overcorrection going on at that point. You know, so it's kind of like they're so afraid that someone else or you might control their behavior. So they're putting their foot down and not making a decision, regardless of what they feel on the inside. Because they don't want to make that decision because you're asking them to. They want to make it because they want to, but because you're asking them to, it's making them feel pressured. And they don't want to feel pressured. And they don't want to do it because you're asking for that decision. It's a little bit complicated, I understand that, but that's also why it's kind of a burden on your person at this point in time. There are feelings. I think that your person does want to make the choice that you have been maybe waiting for, or you might have been energetically asking for answers, but they don't want to do it because there's that pressure. I would not be surprised if this person may have been controlled at one point in their life by someone else. And I think that it might have taken a lot of time for your person to kind of step out of their shadows. And so your person might be afraid that they're stepping back into someone else's shadows, and it could be you in this case. So it's kind of like a course correction over there, but it's an overcorrection of sorts, where your person's like, no, I will never listen to anyone. I'm never going to do it anyone's way. It's just my way. And, you know, they're kind of putting their foot down in that sense. But that by itself, because it's going against what they intuitively feel, what they intuitively want to do, that by itself is a burden. You know, the more you resist what your soul intuitively wants, what that soul pull is, the more it becomes an energetic burden, and it starts manifesting physically as well. And that's the phase that your person is in at this point in time. They don't want to take any action right now. I would not expect any action from this person. But Pal One, I have to say, if you've been asking for a certain answer from this person, or you've been wanting them to behave in a certain way, wanting them to show up in a certain way, even if you haven't told them, I think that there might be some hidden expectations that you do have that is adding energetic pressure on this person. Because I'm being called to see, come to me, attracting like a rose, and I feel that more as advice coming for you at this point in time. Because your person is in such resistive energy, they have to be the ones to come towards you. And even if you think about asking for something from them, or you're thinking about wanting an answer from them, wanting a decision, wanting them to behave a certain way, all of that adds up to the pressure that they're feeling, whether you know it or not. You probably have taken a step back not to add pressure on this person, but you being in that energy adds energetic pressure. Until you can release that, your person is going to be in this energy. The moment you release that, Pal One, your person starts feeling free. They no more feel it as a burden to make a decision, and that's how they feel attracted to you. And it's kind of like you're removing the pressure, because they don't want to make a decision if they're under pressure, but they will make a decision if they're not under pressure, and they want it to come from within them. They don't want to be choosing or doing something because you're asking them to. It is a very teenager like vibe that's coming through, and I'm not stereotyping teenagers over here, but I'm kind of reflecting back to my own teenage years, to be very honest with you, where I think that I was so against, like I was such a rebel growing up, and if someone wanted, like someone who I perceived to be an authority figure, or everyone else perceived to be an authority figure. I didn't want to accept that, the resistance, you get what I mean? So if everyone perceived someone to be an authority figure, I didn't, and they wanted me to do something, I didn't want to do it because they asked me to, and I wanted it to come through me, like just doing it on my own. And I'm being called to remember this reel that's there on Instagram, and I'm pretty sure you've seen it too. It's kind of like, what does the eldest daughter in the family want? She wants leadership, but not like telling her what to do, but just like lead. That's kind of the energy that's coming through. Like, your person does want to make the decision. I see the Queen of Cups coming out with the Ace of Wands. They want to, and they're kind of getting desperate to make that decision. But there's also that ego coming in with the Knight of Swords, where if you tell them to do it, they will not do it. They don't want to do it, even though they do, but they will not do it. And they're okay being in that energy. But if you just let them be, they will make that decision on their own, all right? So that is the energy that's coming through with your person. It has to come from them. With I am innovative, the idea of making that choice, or whatever that choice is, it has to come from them. It's very, very important to your person at this point in time, all right? Okay. Let me see one message or advice. I think this whole reading has been a little bit of an advice for you, because I am feeling that energetic pressure. So I think that your person is definitely feeling it, and I think this reading's more of an advice for you. Yeah. So you, even if you're thinking about it, it's energetic pressure. You don't have to verbally communicate something for it to become an expectation or a pressure on someone else, right? So every time you feel like you're thinking about it, or every time you feel like you're in that energy, distract yourself and try to shift that energy into something else, that intensity. Try to shift it into something else. For me, what works is, if I'm thinking too intensely about something that I'm not supposed to be thinking on, I kind of step into my more creative energy, so that that energy can expel out of me, and I'm no longer in that intense mode. I'm still in the intense mode, I guess, but it's through creative energies. And with the rainbow coming over here, I feel like that creative surge in me is just there. So whatever that could mean for you, whether it's writing that entire intensity off onto paper, or dancing it out, that energy release, singing it out, painting for that matter as well. However you wish to define that creative energy for you, wherever you feel like you're in your zone in that creative energy, shift into those energies, all right? Because you might be doing it even without your knowledge. I'm not like pinpointing that, saying you're doing this. Sometimes it happens without our knowledge, and I include myself in this too. And it's not fair. It's not fair to the other person. So what do? We correct the energy on our end. We align on our end. And that's okay, nothing, like, I'm not calling you out, or I'm not saying, oh, this is wrong. No, it's just, you didn't know, now you do. So we shift, we align, all right? Okay. This is where I will leave you for today, Pal One. I really hope that this reading brought you the comfort, clarity, and confirmation you're looking for. Thank you for allowing me to read for you. I really, really hope that you didn't feel called out, because it wasn't my intention. I include myself. Every time I give advice, I want to say I include myself in the spectrum that I'm giving advice to, because I also need it. Sometimes when I'm hearing the advice that comes through in the reading, I'm like, oh, okay, well, I needed that as well today for something else, or some other related, unrelated energy. Like, it doesn't matter what the situation is. Sometimes we tend to think so much about it that we actually block it from manifesting. We actually block it from just giving it the space to happen on its own, whether it is this relationship, or it could even be other aspects of maybe your personal life, other relationships, your business, money flow, so on and so forth. So I just wanted to put that out there. Like, every time I give advice, I include myself in that, and it is also for me, and it's also something that I probably have done at some point, and very, very likely multiple times as well. I don't know why I felt the need to share this. Maybe there's someone out there who might have felt a little bit triggered by this, but I just want to say I include myself in this as well, all right? And that's always the space that I give any kind of thoughts or advice from, all right? Okay, pile 1, take care, trust your intuition, you always have free will. Catch you in my next one. Bye-bye. Hi pile 2, for those of you who chose the Morgan Greer Tarot, this is going to be your reading, right? Before we get into the reading, let's just take some time to realign our energies. So close your eyes, think of your person, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. Alright, pile 2, specifically for no contact and or separation situation, what are your person's honest feelings about you? Okay, we have the Wheel of Fortune, we have the Magician, we have the World, we have the Knight of Pentacles, we have the King of Swords, the Eight of Cups, and we have the Tower. Okay. Also have your Oracle cards. I am calm, freedom, hidden tears, the rose thread, authentic power with the solar plexus. I co-create my reality. Your person is unusually calm at this point. Like even as I was shuffling the deck, I mean, it never happens, okay? Because I'm always very, very hyper aware of the energy as I'm like shuffling and as I'm putting out the deck. But this time, I don't know, my mind was blank. I was not able to feel any energy. And I think that your person is in that state, like extremely calm, like nothing is phasing them at this point in time. I'm also being called to see, I think it's one of the parts of the Caribbean movies. I think it's the Black Pearl, the first one, where this person's walking down the ship, and I'm sorry I'm channeling, I don't remember who it is and stuff like that. It's just the image coming through. He's walking down and then there's like fire and fighting all around him, and the ship is about to sink and he's just walking very, very calmly. That's the energy that your person is in right now. Absolutely unfazed. I mean, there's a lot going on in their energy right now, but they're being very, very calm, scarily, eerily calm. That's the energy that's coming through. Your person is understanding that whatever has happened in their life or whatever is happening in their life is leading them to something. There is just this very, very firm, unshakable belief that whatever is happening for them. And I think that your person is in very, very healthy energies at this point in time. At one point in time, I would not be surprised if this person would constantly keep blaming themselves, like, why is this happening to me? Or why am I always the one to go through pain? No one else in my life goes through pain. Your person could have also felt that every single thing that happens to them is always working against them. But today, very, very different energies coming from your person. I mean, there's been like a substantial transformation within your person. And I would not be surprised if your person is actually so strong in their energies that they're actually manifesting what they have always desired for themselves. And there is a lot of chaos in their life at this point in time, but they're just trusting their intuition. They are just being led at this point in time. Or I guess as called to correct that, they're allowing themselves to be led by their soul. That's the energy that your person is in. It's very, very powerful energies. It's kind of like your person is a very, very logical and rational person, but they're letting go of that because they are understanding that by approaching what's happening to them with logic and rationale, it's led them nowhere. In fact, it's made them feel very, very defeated in certain moments of their life. But the moment they let go of that logic, that rationale, and they just go by what their soul is telling them, your person feels an internal release. And that by itself, as painful as that has been, it has also led them to a place of massive stability, massive peace, and massive alignment. So your person is just trusting what is happening in this connection. There could have been a complete breakdown of this connection in other aspects of your person's life as well. And I am seeing that this connection too has been a part of that. And your person has shed a lot of tears about this connection. They've wanted this for a long time, but I think that your person may not have been in the right energies, and that's why both of you were kind of in this break, this no contact. But now that your person is understanding that there is a higher purpose to what they're going through, they're just calm. And in a lot of ways, they've brought that freedom upon themselves, that inner freedom, that, okay, well, whatever is happening for my good. It's happening in alignment to the end point that I wish to get to. And that by itself is your person understanding that that is authentic power. Very, very powerful energies coming from your person. I mean, there's been like a 180 flip in their perspective with what they're going through and how they're handling the situation. I think that this person for a very long time may not have handled situations very well. I think that they would panic and they would maybe even like make things even worse for themselves by self-sabotaging. But now your person's understanding that the more calm they are when there is chaos around them, the more clarity comes as to what their next steps should be. And that by itself has been an absolute game changer for your person. Very, very healthy energies coming through Paltu, and very strong energies as well. I mean, I feel like I'm in the presence of someone who is in very, very intense and strong energy, someone who's so focused about accepting that there is something beyond their understanding and they don't have to explain everything that happens in their life. Sometimes they just let go and be led by their soul. So your person's definitely manifesting a revival of this connection by being in this energy. They might not be the ones to approach you, but I think that there is going to be some kind of divine intervention for the resurrection of this connection. I just said that and then I was like, okay, but can you explain that a little bit more? So it might not be this person reaching out, but I think that there might be external circumstances leading this person and you to get back into contact, to encourage the communication between the two of you. So it might not be something that this person intentionally does, it might be something unintentional, or it might just be like a random soul-led moment that they just listen to their intuition and then they do it. So it might even come out of nowhere. But for majority of you, I am seeing that it is external circumstances allowing for both of you an opportunity to see where this could go. Because the energy that your person is in, I mean, whatever they want, they're manifesting it at this point in time. And that's only and only because of the inner work that they've done. Let's see one message or one advice that wants to come through for you. Yeah, you both are moving towards a better situation for the two of you. It's possible that maybe there might not be an improvement in the external circumstances between the two of you, but both of you are stepping into healthier energies in order to handle those situations or overcome those situations. And that's a massive difference. It's not like your person is expecting things to clear up. It's that they have the inner wisdom that they can handle whatever that situation is, and that by itself is both of you actually getting to calmer waters. I am also seeing that there might be a transformation on your end at this point in time. I think that you might need to calm your inner storm at this point too, Paltio. So take some time, all right? It's always difficult. I mean, inner storms, they're meant to bring about a transformation, and until and unless there is recognition and active steps towards that transformation, the inner storm exists, all right? So now that you know this, all right, so especially when you're in an inner storm, ask yourself, what is the end point that I'm supposed to get to in terms of my transformation with this inner storm? That is your end point. So that is the transformation that you're meant to have. Then you ask yourself, well, what is one step that I can take right now that moves me towards that end point? that by itself will help you feel more calm about the situation. It might not be 100%, but you're at least 5% in. So every single time you have to take a step, especially when you're in this inner storm, know your endpoint, know the transformation that this storm is trying to teach you, it's trying to help you evolve. Ask yourself, what is one step that I can take right now that gets me to that endpoint? Do that. That by itself will help you. Then ask, what is the next step? Slowly and steadily. It's kind of like that that loading bar that you see, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, so on. It's a step by step, but you get there to the end. All right? So always know whatever you're going through, especially if it's like there's so much of chaos, there's so much of inner turmoil within you, it's often a sign that you're meant to level up. There's an evolution that needs to happen. So and whatever you're going through is meant to teach you how to get into that version of yourself. So the more intentional steps you take towards that version of yourself, the more calm you start feeling on the inside as well. All right? I really hope that this reading brought you the comfort, clarity, and confirmation you were looking for, felt you. Thank you for allowing me to read for you. My private readings are open right now. You can check the details in the description box below. But if this is where you'd like to leave me, then I just want to say thank you so much for all your love and positive energy, whether it's with the like, share, subscribe, comments, the tips to send, and watching my page ads. Those are the ways I feel your love and positive energy, and I'm really, really grateful for it. Felt you. Take care. Trust your intuition. You always have free will. Catch you in my next one. Bye-bye.